Exhale through your mouth for a count of 4. And then we're going to repeat. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Once more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. And I want you to imagine that there are roots extending from your sit bones into the earth. Visualize these roots grounding you, providing a strong foundation like the roots of a tree. And just take a few moments to really feel that groundedness, that feeling of safety, that feeling of connectedness. Okay, now bring your attention to your heart center. If it's comfortable for you, place a hand over your heart. And with each inhale, imagine that your heart is filling with strength and resilience. Each exhale, you release any worries, any doubts, any fears. Inhale strength and resilience. Exhale doubt, fear, worry. And as you continue to breathe, think of a challenge or a difficult situation that you faced or may be facing in the future, and see yourself handling that situation with confidence and courage. Now, I want us to shift our focus to gratitude. Think of 3 things that you're grateful for, no matter how small or insignificant you may feel that they seem. You want to feel the warmth of that gratitude in your heart. As you inhale strength and resilience, as you exhale any tension or stress. Finally, I want you to imagine a protective shield about you, a vibrant sphere of light, shielding you from any negativity, any doubts, any fear that may try to creep back in. And now, as we approach the final moments of this meditation, I would like for you to silently repeat a positive affirmation to yourself, such as, I am strong, I am resilient, and I can overcome all things. And when you are ready, slowly flutter your eyes open and carry on with that sense of resilience throughout the rest of your day and every day to move forward. Asha, thank you. That was actually a little quicker than 10 minutes, I think. Oh, did we lose you again?
No, thank
Oh,
you.
okay.
Thank you. I had to open my mic up. Thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you. I've been going through this sound therapy thing on Monday nights, and when I tell you, it is just amazing just to lay down and close your eyes for an hour and have people just
and patiently wait for nothing.
Oh my goodness. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Go into it. Okay, so this week we have our number one brother King, not that you're number two, Michael, but you know, I am so excited that Osar, he says Osir, I say Osar, he says Osar, I say Osir, but anyway, we know it's the same person. So I want to welcome Osar to our group. I want to tell you a funny little story before he starts talking, because the other morning I opened up an email from him. It had to be about 4:30 or 5 o'clock. And he was like, hey, I want you to check out this project that I'm working on, and I'd like to get some feedback from you. And he had copied me and a few other people in his circle of influence. And I'm looking and I'm reading and I'm like, dude, really? What we doing? Wait. So I immediately went to YouTube and shared session number 4. I said, let me send this to him so he can see we right there with him already, right? So he sent me a message, please call me. So I called him. I said, I guess we on the same wavelength. He said, when did you start doing this? So, oh, Sarah, go ahead. Now tell us your side. You got to unmute yourself.
Well, greetings, brothers and sisters. In this space with you all, anyone I'm not seeing, evidently. So I'll just start by about a month ago, I was in meditation and really seeking to know what is my voice. I'm 63, going into my 64th rotation. I know a lot. Have access to a lot of information that is other people's, but at this point in my life, I was saying, what is my unique voice? And then when I got these emails about my voice, it was just affirming. And so I had started that night. Matter of fact, it was the night before I got the email. I had sat down and began to think about a book, and this title came to me. And not only did the title come to me, after I listened to the previous sessions that you all have already engaged in, the assignment was to create a cover. So Friday night, I created a cover, and it's just all working wonderfully. So I'm present to complete a book that I have been not necessarily putting off in procrastination, but patiently waiting for the right season.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the season, and as I listen to the instructions, it will group. I am the expert and can speak this into reality. So I'm glad to be present with you all.
That is so wonderful. And you know, that's why when I got on the phone, I'm like, we on the same wavelength, because when I put this out for us to do this, it was back in August or September. Like, hey, in my spirit, it told me, you know, it's time to get everybody to get their voice out there, because our voices, you know, even though we speak to different groups, is very unique, right? And so it needs to be heard, because we're not talking the same common language that everybody is speaking. And most of us, most people are still just regurgitating their childhood beliefs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, they're regurgitating what they learned from their culture. from their parents, from school, and they're not even pushing back on it. So we are the ones bringing a different conversation so that they can see, wait a minute, there's another way to look at this. And that's why our voice is required, not just one voice, but everybody's voice is definitely required. So I just want to acknowledge you, Osera, for being just because I was like, I don't know where he is. I don't know why he's not in this group. So that tickled me really. I laughed at that when I saw that. I say, I guess he here, but he over there. So
Been in a whole nother stratosphere, but I've always popped back in when I'm supposed to.
you pop back in when you're supposed to. Absolutely. So on my agenda tonight, is one of the things that I want to make sure that we actually look at is being clear about how we are in our process, right? Now, we should have written 1, 2, maybe even 3 chapters now. Or Sarah, you have your podcast where you at least know at least your season. You may not know what's going to be in each show, but you have your season, or you should be prepared, right? The reason I want us to do that is because I want you to be able to gauge what does it take for you to get one chapter done, right? Or one episode done. Because when you can determine that, I want you to look and see what is your goal in time. So if we look in 8 weeks, it's going to be December 31st. Where will you be in your process? So I want you to look and see if we've already did our outlines. I know some people are on their rewrites, but we should be able to see that by December 31st, are you a quarter? Are you a quarter of the way? Are you halfway? Are you 3/4 of the way? Or are you ready to set a end date? Right. So I want us to take I have my little thing. Oh, I gotta put Osira in there. So I want us to take a minute and look and do that analysis, and then come back and just say where you are in your process. Now, Osira, I know that you're not quite where we are, but I would like you to at least introduce your work to the group when it's your turn, talk about it, and then try to answer some of that. And what I do is I have a little box that I pull people's names out of to determine how we go. So let's see who's going to go first. I should put everybody's name out. Let's see who's going first. Yushaz, are you still with us, Yushaz?
I am. I came in late. Happy Sunday, everybody.
How are you?
Happy Portal Day, Portal Month.
Yes. So
Did my name come first?
your name came first. You're the first one in. So
Okay.
when you're looking at your process, are you writing? Are you actually engaged, or are you just on the call with us every 2 weeks? Are you actually doing your writing when we're offline?
I am actually doing my writing, and I don't know, this process has been very interesting because my particular book, Dissecting the Soul, I started out, okay, what do I want to got the introductions for each chakra. And so now I'm at writing captivating stories for each chakra.
Oh, wonderful. Yes.
Yeah. So, but I had like a roadblock like this week, just a mental blocks. Cancel,
So,
cancel, cancel. All my travels open, clear, safe.
hold on. I want to speak to that. When you
Okay.
had your block, because remember there were resources that we talked about earlier, the binaural
Mhm.
beats. Now,
Yep.
Did you use any of those? And then there was also a meditation that you can use because,
You know what?
yeah.
As you're saying that, I'm thinking about this particular week. I know, because the first week when you first gave it to us, I was listening to them. I used the silver and the chakra, and then those just follow on after that.
Mhm.
And so this week, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
This week, I didn't do that.
And
So,
this is why it's going to be important. That's really great, you shares, and thank you for being honest and open with that. Because this is the time. Because remember last week I said nobody cares if we write a book. Nobody cares.
yeah,
I mean, and guess what's going to happen? Every distraction in the world is
mm,
going to show up. Why? Because there's a part of us that still may not believe we can do this. So
mm,
that's why we use all of those different elements. We have to bring ourselves in. We have to use the whole maps. We have to be mental about it, emotional about it, physical about it, and even spiritual about it. We
yeah.
have to add
The-
all of those things. So the physical is applying the structure. And the structure could just mean 15 minutes a day. And that's what I had
yeah.
to do for myself because it's like I found myself saying, "Oh, I'm busy. I mean, no, 15 minutes."
I make sure in the first thing in the sun time, that's
Yeah.
where I committed myself because that's my most, electric time to
Yes.
write. And then that way, I've gotten additional clients during the last week. So I have to make sure my time is dedicated. I'm always helping everybody else, but this is to help myself. So um just shifting into that and being respecting my own boundaries
Wonderful.
um
Wonderful.
is where I am. So
That's it, respecting your own boundaries. And the other part of that is I remember I used to get upset because people would come to me and ask me to do stuff. And I'm like, you already know I'm busy. Why are you asking me to do stuff? And one lady told me, one of my mentors told me a long time ago, and she said, because busy people get stuff done.
I know that's right.
They have to get things off their plate, right? So imagine, but the thing is, we're used to doing it for somebody else. We're used to being applauded. You're going to have to applaud and acknowledge yourself through this process because it's tedious, it's long, and this is why the reward is so great. I mean, I think it's only what is it, 4% of the population write books? Because it is a labor of love and it requires discipline. Okay. All right. Very good, you shares. Thank you. Thank you for opening up there.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Who's next? Teresa. Did Teresa leave? Where's Teresa? Okay. Okay. You don't see her on the participation list? Okay. Dr. Tammy, she didn't come in, right? Who is this? She's not here. Hold on. Somebody here. Alanda.
Oh,
You
He
can just
chose my
talk.
buddy is fixed.
They can talk.
It's
You can
fixed.
talk. Go ahead. You can talk.
I can talk over there.
Yeah.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah. Can y'all hear her? Can y'all hear Landa?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can hear
Yeah, we can hear you.
What was the question again?
Where the process? How are you with the process, with the writing, and
Oh,
and can you see yourself with what's going on with your writing and your timing and what's in the way and all of that?
what's in the way is I am critiquing as I go, and I have to stop myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I see things I don't like, and then I stop, and then I distract myself. And then I start doing something else because it's easier to do something else than finish the chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And I have better because I am still doing it, but I catch myself as I do it. That makes sense. I'm catching myself instead of me just putting it down and not picking it back up. So I'll stop, and then I stop myself from correcting. And then I walk away. I do walk away, go and breathe or whatever, and then go back, put it on my calendar to do 15, 20 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and then go back. Because I already wrote, I'm on ending the second chapter
Mm-hmm.
and starting the third.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Good. So, and this is to you too, you shares. Can you write a chapter in one sitting, or do you do it in the whole week? How's your writing how is that process?
It seems like me and my buddy has been having similar issues because I'm an editor. It's like I had to stop myself and just flow with it.
Mhm.
Because if I don't flow with it, then it's like the message, kind of stops. But I'm writing, I take at least, 30 minutes a day.
Okay, but does that get you through a chapter, or what does that get you through that 30 minutes?
Well, that 30 minutes helped me get through the introductions of each of my chapters.
Okay, got you. So you still, okay, got you. Yeah, because everybody's layout is different. Okay, what about you, Alanda?
I'm rewriting the chapter. So again, I'm finding things is wrong. So I'm taking the 15, 20 minutes to not correct what I'm doing. So I'm just flowing. So either I'm writing it or I'm typing it without adding it to the actual book.
Yeah, but so in that 15, 20 minutes, can you write a chapter, or is it just halfway through? It's not even a chapter yet? Okay. All right, good.
It's a chapter because I'm rewriting what I wrote.
Yeah, don't rewrite. You cannot rewrite and then go
Why
right.
you doing it?
Yeah, you cannot rewrite chapter 1 because you'll never get to chapter 2.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What does she consider wrong?
I'm on chapter 2.
No, we don't want to have that question because she asked.
Okay.
I know.
Because you know what? Reason why I asked, because I thought it might help her follow through. You know what I'm saying?
No. So here's why I don't want to do what's wrong, because that still turns on that left brain. Remember, the left brain is critical. The left brain is going to always find something wrong. So, and it's not that there's anything ever really wrong, right? You understand?
That was my point. Was my point, that she's following her first mind. And I'm speaking to you like I'm speaking to me. You're following your first mind, and then that thought, oh, that's not right. Let me go back and change that. So that
we're gonna do a little bit. I'm gonna show you all how to use voice to text, because that will help some of that. Because really what you want to do is, when you're being creative, it is just the flow. You understand that? The right brain, it's like dancing when nobody's watching you. Greg, when you stepping, you ain't counting steps, are you? You in the mood music. You do
exactly.
Matter of fact, even if the song go off, you can still have music in your head if you that deep into it,
Exactly.
You want to do that with your writing. You see what I'm saying? But the only way you get to that point is that you consistently do it. But if you consistently critique, you're turning off your creativity. Am I making my point?
Very well. Yep.
Because that's what happens.
Yeah. And that's actually what we do with our life too. We do the same thing everywhere. And that's why I want you to get clear that our work is a contribution, and it's not about being perfect. We'll save that for the editing phase. We still have to get to that part.
Right. We're just flowing. We're just
flowing now. We're telling a story. You're generating a story. And then you can go back and wordsmith. You're going to have plenty of time a wordsmith and get it right. But then actually, if you want to, you can use your Bard or Chat GPT to clean that up as you go if you want to. That's what the cleanup is, because it'll check your grammar and everything in that process. But don't you do it in your head. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Are y'all
Think
getting?
long. Yeah, think long, think wrong at
I-
this point.
Yes, I'm doing that because I just did a presentation on overachievement anxiety.
Yeah, and that's what that is, overachievement anxiety. I got to get it right. Nope, we don't got to get it right. I promise you, we don't got to get it right, because it's a contribution. Here's my gift.
It's a trigger.
Yeah, so we don't.
It's a trigger to correct.
Yeah, but we've been taught to critique ourselves, right? That's
Yep.
What were you gonna say, Sarah?
It's a trust issue at the core of it. Trusting yourself and being aligned with source from which this information is coming forth.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Because really, if you trust the process, you just channel it. Yep. You just channel it, just download, as Michael said, just download it.
That good soul food. Download the voice.
Download the voice. Everybody is unique in that. Okay, let's see. Kiana, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, tell us where you at in the process and what's going on with you.
I'm tired. It's Scorpio season, y'all. I just been turned up. That's why I'm at in this process.
You just celebrating too much.
And it's so this is my first dry birthday since I can remember. Dry as in no alcohol. I quit drinking.
You talking.
And you would think that I did not. I had not one drip of liquor. I don't know, because I turned 45. It just hit different. I don't know, but I stayed out to a little after midnight, and I can't get right.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So, but I have been just in the flow of the process. So, watching the videos, being in the class, because I'm basically doing a rewrite. So taking what I already have and putting it into the bar and seeing what it comes up with. And I haven't even been I've been reading as I'm doing it, but I haven't even went back. It's not even totally organized yet, because the way the bar did it,
yes,
that added more to what I had already, and restructuring it actually changed the chapter. If that makes sense. I can change my format. So once I get done, I need to go back and then
put it the way you actually want it.
Right. And so I don't want to stop the flow. So I have it because a part of me do want to go back and just be like, let me organize this. But I'm trying to stay in the creative flow and just doing it. So that's what I've been doing.
Wonderful. And then because there's most of yours is rewrite. So are you able to see a goal or a date or a time that you will be done? Because I think you're a little further along than everyone else.
Yeah, I don't have a date in mind. I probably need to have a date in mind. I would like to have it done by the end of the year, at least a nice rough draft, right?
Okay.
Done by the end of the year. So a finished document by the end of the year. Now, whether it needs to be fine-tuned.
Because what I'm looking at is, because what I would like to do is that for those people who are going to be ready at the end of the year, is that you actually submit your manuscript to us, and then we do the critiquing.
Okay, yeah.
You see that? But I don't want everybody to be finished at all the same time. So that's why I'm asking, so we can see where everybody is in the process, and we can have an idea of how to manage ourselves with that. You know what I'm saying? So that'll be great. Okay, wonderful. All right, let's see who we got in here. All right, Michael. You're the podcaster, Mr. Podcaster.
Yeah. Where am I in the process? That is a Fabulous question, because I didn't even think about it being a process. I was thinking of it um, as a job, right?
Yeah.
Thinking of it as I have stuff to do. I have these tasks that need to be completed. Um, but what's been happening is, well, for the majority of my life, I've been like the king of procrastination.
Mm.
So I have relinquished that title, sent myself back to pauper status, and I'm relearning to have that grace with myself, to know that I have something to do. Some days I might not be able to do it, and that's okay. But at the same time, bruh, light that fire in the ass. Let's get it going. Let's do what we got to do.
Well, you know
Just take it up.
this is really great, Michael, because procrastination really lines up with the critiquing because it's almost like a fear of failure.
Oh, there's no almost about it.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, well, if I don't show up and the time just pass, it just
Yeah, then it
like
just don't get done, and
it
then
just
whatever.
don't get done. Yeah. And so I want to acknowledge you for even putting that in the space because now you don't get to do that with us.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it any longer with
Right.
myself. I mean that's something that like I sat there and I wrote the entire first episode of the podcast. Actually, I got it done right before I spoke with you yesterday.
Oh, good.
Um, well, it's good because I got it done.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be representative of what the process is going to be for me because that's an intro episode, right?
Okay.
So
Mhm.
that's just me. Hey, this is me. This is who I am. This is what the podcast is going to be about. Um, that's not going to be what the process is going to be for me. There's going to be a research part. There's going to be uh, obviously editing and stuff, which we aren't on, understood. But I mean, I'm thinking about that process, like how is it going to actually be? So when I get started, I have an idea for a topic. Then,
Mhm.
uh, unless it's something I'm really well versed in, I'm going to have to go. Even if it is, I'm going to have to go and do some research for it.
But that's anyway, right?
Right.
Yeah. Mhm.
So then,
You have to add
uh,
you have because that actually is what adds credibility to what you're speaking to. Yeah.
exactly. So then I don't sound like a dun dun, just blubbering off stuff that I read on Google.
Mhm.
Um, what I can say is, um, Chat GPT has been my boy.
Mhm.
Um, it's like when I feel like I'm getting stuck, I'm like, okay, fine. Hey, Chat GPT, give me a couple of ideas for episodes for blah blah blah.
Yeah.
From the voice of a black man, whatever, and then I have those ideas like, oh, okay, cool. And, I can take 2, 4, and 10. I can put that in. Uh, so that's it sounds sporadic, I guess, because it is. But the good thing about that is I know that it's sporadic, and I am fine tuning it,
Mhm.
um,
Well,
shaving off what I don't need.
you should have and I said should, so I'm gonna take that back. Do you have an
Mm.
idea of when you're going to do your first episode? Do we have a goal in mind? Of when are you looking at the first of the year? Are you looking at spring? When are you looking at launching your podcast?
Um, I thought about doing a spring launch. Um, I guess I'm still thinking about that because I mean the first episode is, like I said, that's not even worth even worrying about because that's just basically who I am and what the podcast is going to be about. Um, let's say this. I'll commit to this right now. Yeah, I will do a spring launch,
Yep.
and I will have the full first season uh, recorded by that launch. So all 8 episodes.
Well, I'm not gonna hold you to that because you can actually launch with 2 to 3 episodes. Okay, because
Oh, I mean the not the actual episodes are going to be done, but
okay, you'll know what
the
they are. Okay, good,
I'll know
good.
what the episodes are, and
Yes,
I'll
wonderful.
have some sort of research at least begin on each one of those episodes so that I can have
Or
that done.
guests lined up or whatever.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Okay,
So not all episodes done, edited, and all that. Just all episodes topics are gonna be good to go with probably the first one or two,
recorded.
and that's not including the intro. That's automatic, but the first
Right.
2 episodes after that.
And then there's some other things, and Osir asked a very great question today. He said, do we meet every Sunday? We don't, but some of those Sundays are going to be available for special work. For instance, for podcasters, there's other things that we need to do besides your thing. We need to get your marketing ready. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We need to look at different things that you need to do. We need to look at what is your production going to look like. So we can do
Mm-hmm.
those kind of conversations on an off Sunday,
Okay.
between. So,
No, I'm glad you brought that up because that's actually a piece of the process for me. So I've already started looking on on one of my favorite websites, Fiverr, for folks to help with getting the intro song.
don't do that. We're gonna use AI. I got all the things. Don't do that. We ain't spending.
Okay.
We got the
So
AI is
I'm
free.
working on
I'm getting ready to send y'all all the websites. Okay.
so for the music you're talking about, because that's what I'm talking about.
You can do for music, you can do for images, you can do for yeah, I'm gonna send it to you. Don't worry about
Okay,
it.
so that's all I need is to get
Yeah,
the intro to outro,
yeah.
and then whatever sponsorship stuff that I'm gonna add in there later or whatever.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, thank you. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, Sarah, let's go. We get to hear what you got going on. You got to remember they don't know what you have going on. I do. So you got to.
So what I've done to date is I've created my cover, my award-winning cover. I have written my intro, and I've completed my outline. So my goal is to, by the end of the year, have the book completed, and 2024 will be the launching and the tour, going on tour, speaking engagements, everything that comes with that. Part of that in 2024, I want to, now I may start it, so I'm part of this conversation with you all to get clarity, the what they call a podcast, but it was be more of me having a open forum dialogue with professionals around the topics of my book. Be added to the book could be done by then, but to substantiate the validity of my work. My piece is more of a scholarly piece written to those in the pew and not those in the pulpit, to give them the strength they need to go through the dissonance that they may have, because it's my journey. It took me almost 40 years to, how many, Rita, how long we've been knowing each other? Since 90.
30, 30, 30, 30, she was 34 years,
30 some
a long time,
years, almost
over
40,
30 years.
a long time
Right.
to
Mm.
the
Well, you married me in her
than those who in
room.
the pew.
It's coming up to 30 years, December 21st.
Okay. So I met you probably a year or two before that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So my dissonance has been a lot stronger based on the integrity of, before I released what I had, I wanted to know what I had, because I didn't want to string people on, introduce them to something, and then say, "Oops, that was a big mistake." So my heart is for those who identify with traditional Christianity, but know in their heart of hearts is not serving their highest and greatest good. They don't know how to have an exit plan, and they don't know that to provide a therapeutic way to move from what has at some point served them to now is no longer serving them, and to hold enough into I'm liberating that.
Now, let me ask you this.
So my book,
is there workbook? Is it workbook oriented or no?
so I see this unfolding first as a book, and then there'll be an accompanying workbook, and
Okay.
then there'll be actually coaching, group coaching um, time with me, first to lead it, and then to perhaps develop those who can lead these um, liberating moments.
Conversations. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That is wonderful. Is there any way, did you all see the cover that he put in the group? Did everybody see the cover? I love that cover. I love it. It's very vibrant.
Yeah. Well,
And
before I created, I had listened to all the feedback that Michael and the rest of you guys was giving one another last week. And
oh,
then,
Which group?
and the one on Facebook, on the chat group.
well, I can show it if you want me
Yeah,
to.
can you share? Let me give you sharing.
Want me to do it?
Yeah, give him sharing rights.
So, how I use, do I share like I normally share?
Yeah,
So,
hold on. Alanda's giving you rights. Hold on. No, it's
Yeah,
great. Oh,
Yeah, it says.
okay, okay.
yeah, that cover is fire.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing, bro.
Let me see where it is. Is it there? Okay, you have to do. See if you can do it, Greg.
okay, yeah, I
There.
can do it.
Is it? Do you see it?
So you guys,
You see the share button on the bottom? Share screen.
do you see it?
No, you
Show me
have to
now.
push the share blue. You have to share. You have to push. There you go. There it
Yep.
comes.
Or it took time.
Oh,
Okay, you're seeing it.
yes.
So Sankofa, we know that means looking back, and then my bird, I made it look back and up instead of looking back and down. It's remembering, for those of you who know the story of Asar, he was dismembered. And the analogy is we as a people have been dismembered. So I'm
Mhm.
playing on the remembering, putting ourselves back together. Ancient African spirituality, amidst cultural misorientation and cognitive dissonance. So I'm dealing with two psychological aspects of this conversation. One, I'm well versed in the Black psychology and the concept of cultural misorientation, which is a little bit worse than just acculturation. And I tie that in to how we have taken on the belief systems that don't serve our highest and greatest good, and then the natural cognitive dissonance that comes with making such a strong change from beliefs that are tied to our religious part of who we are. And so we have that conversation, and part of it will be stories of other people that have gone through this process in the 25 years, 30 years of pastoring, how individuals I know personally have dealt with the cognitive dissonance, um, reflected on some who have just given up and stayed with tradition, those who have broken away and just are not doing anything spiritual, and those who have broken away and now have created a new spiritual path and practices that's.
Now let me ask you, Sarah. You have nine. The colors. Are those significant for something, or were those just arbitrarily done?
So I found this image, and I own I've paid Shutterstock. So I looked up Sankofa, and they didn't have really much. Then they had the Adinkra symbols. Then I found this image, but it was facing the other way. So I manipulated it and took it off the background that it was on. So I like the colorfulness. The colors just was something to me that caught everybody's eye. The
Okay.
word Sankofa, those who have been in this conversation knows what that means to look back. And then the bird looks somewhat, it's more modern and not really tying them to um, the the Indigenous symbols that some of our people just have natural natural aversions to. So I want it to be subliminally, it just really appeasing. Knowing that a large part of the audience I've dealt with in my life has been female, I felt the softness of that purple kind of it was inviting not only for the females but even for the males. Like I found that it was inviting to me when I made that cover color.
So yeah, and I love that purple. So what I'm going to suggest when we get close to making the cover, because Rolana really does do graphic design work, that we actually have those colors of the tail be more in line with the chakra systems. What do you think?
So there's nine. Okay, so there's 9 colors in there, and 9 to me represents
I love the
completion.
9. I love the 9. But but even if you, because you see you have that gray in there with that's a muted color. You can add a muted color and it doesn't. I don't want you to take out the 9 spaces, but to just have it more in line with the chakra systems so that it's less indicative of what people are doing right now with the rainbow.
Oh yeah, so that definitely clearly I liked it because it didn't really look like a rainbow. I didn't,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. And then one of the things is we need to take back what the universe has given us.
We need to own it. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And
all that,
so many things were just stuck in religion, and because they were stuck in religion, we act like we can't use them. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we can use that. We can use it. So that's
so
wonderful.
the rainbow is a prism of light.
Yeah,
So with the
absolutely.
rainbow being a prism of light, what does that prism represent? Why does the universe show us these colors in the prism?
Because they
So
line
that may
with
be
our
something.
chakras. Exactly.
Okay.
It's the whole chakra system. Yeah.
And we are light.
Uh,
We are light. Good.
if I may,
You
Go ahead.
sure?
I mean, I posted in the chat about the chakra thing already, but what I like about it is the individual elements, the colored elements, remind me of folks kind of like raising their hands, like seeking the knowledge or receiving the knowledge.
Mm.
That's interesting because the Akhenaten, who is someone that I have a close relationship with, if you look at the images, the relief, it has the sun with these rays coming down with hands. So that's interesting. So I'm not really just like sold on there has to be this image. It was something to get it's done and
Oh
started.
yeah. But I'm telling you, it really, I was just like, wow.
Yeah,
So I
that's
love the
dope.
image. There's nothing, that image is great.
It also looked like books.
Oh, Orlando said it looked like books.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
Knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Also the Fibonacci spiral.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I thought about the Fibonacci. The spiral of the Fibonacci. Yes, wonderful.
I actually have a chart with the 9 chakras, 22 actually.
Yeah.
So when I find that, I'll post it in the chat.
Or even send it to us here. Yes,
appreciate it.
absolutely.
I appreciate
Wonderful. Okay, so where I am in the process, I noticed that because of how I'm writing and what I'm writing, that I get caught up in my feeling, my emotion about what I'm writing. And so sometimes I have to stop. And then the other day, I didn't let myself stop. I wrote through my emotion. And I got a lot more done. And I thought I was just like, oh, I just had a breakthrough, like, because I'm kind of like writing a nonfiction book, but I'm writing a fictional book, but it is a story about things that happen in my life, right? So some of that is coming up, but I noticed that I can, and that was what had me moving to, because I could have said, oh, that feels bad, or that's, you see what I'm saying? And I kept going instead of stopping. So I'm actually looking at a summer release date. And even if I finish before then, I want to get everybody else moved through, because what I'd like to do is in the fall do a Master Force Speaks at the South Shore Cultural Center, where everyone kind of does their talk, similar to a TED Talk, but we're going to present to the community so that, again, some of these subjects, and I love, Osir, that yours is an intellectual, a scholar. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Everybody is in a different space, and everybody has a different audience, so that makes a huge difference. Okay.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I
Absolutely.
wanted to say thank you, all of you, especially you, because when you go through that, you're actually cleansing. So thank you for going through that, because you're not just cleansing for yourself. We're cleansing for generations.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
It really is. It really is. So now, what I want to show you all, can you all see this screen?
Yeah.
This screen is, I want to show you that there is in Google Docs, there's this extension that you can use under tools. And the thing is, it doesn't work with Safari or Firefox. You have to have your your Chrome browser open, okay? But then it has voice typing. You see this here? Voice typing. And so when you turn on voice typing, you get this mic that comes up. And so now you can click here and you can start talking, and then it should start talking. Are you talking? You can't hear me? Oh, sorry, didn't hear that. Oh, let me check my mic. Check mic, check. All right, why didn't it hear me?
Because using another program.
I'm using the same. Was I using another program earlier?
No, using a microphone on Zoom.
Oh, that might be it. Thank you, Landa. Landa said you were using another program. So, but you all get the idea, because I want to be able to show you this though, because the other thing that get in touch with Google, the other thing that I want you to see, use your voice talks, is that for you, Osir, let me stop this for a minute. I want to be able to show you that if you open up, say for instance, any of your videos, right? Let me see. I want to see if this is going to do it. If I open up this video, because I think this will save you a lot of time, and it could save all of you some time, depending on how many of you have actually have your podcast. I know Kiana has a podcast. Osir, you've had podcasts before. So if you actually pull up your podcast and then you actually turn on the voice to type, it will literally transcribe your video. So think of all the lectures, Osir, that you have done, right? That you have done. And even on this subject, you already have some of this written. So you can go back and pull up that audio and turn on the right. And what you say, Mike, dictating word, whichever one of those, however you use it, but you can actually use that and then construct that, put it into Bard, right? Or Chat GPT, and have it change it and update it. But yeah, I tested this out earlier. I thought it worked. But I had it working with this thing, but this thing didn't work either.
But you weren't on Zoom. You was directly.
Yeah.
You were just relating right to that video or whatever you was.
I thought I tested it with, oh, but I see what you're saying, because Zoom is using the mic,
Correct.
but shouldn't this use the mic too? No,
But it's probably like filtering out background or something like
it
that.
does filter out background. Absolutely, it does. But do you understand what I'm saying though? Why it's
Yes.
the whole part of it? Because the idea is that when you can save some time with your writing, all right, and especially for those of you who have the problem of critiquing yourself when you're writing, one of the best things you can do is just tell your story.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, since I'm using source documents like journals, and if I'm going to um, document it, a lot of times it will take time for me to type that section so I can actually read that section, reference that book, and it's all right there.
Yeah, and you can say quote, you can say footnote, absolutely. And
Oh,
what you might want to do is use endnotes instead of footnotes. Just use endnotes and then you said this is an endnote, and then it'll put the endnote back there on the last
yeah, because
page.
I like the
Yeah.
footnotes. A lot of times get in the way of the reading flow.
Yeah, because people got to stop and go down. But
Right.
the idea that I want all of us to get into is that with AI, we can do things a lot faster, but we're going to have to retrain ourselves because we're used to doing things the hard way or the way that we've been taught in school. So this is going to be a different way of doing things. So we want to actually start practicing that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Is there a learning curve for learning Google Docs? Because I have just not worked in Google Docs at all.
Not at all. It's not a learning curve. And if you really want to, you can actually I go back and forth because I actually do have I have my working document in Word, but I actually have my book in Google Docs. So when I'm working in Word, and then after I get it solidified, like if I finish a chapter, then I pull it over into Google Docs because I actually have it formatted in the chapters in Google Docs.
I have to look into that.
Yeah. But I would actually, Sarah, so that you don't create a learning curve for yourself, write in Word
Okay.
or either longhand for now, or dictate
Okay.
in Word, because you can do, what did you say, Michael? It's called dictate in Word.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. So you in the Word document, at the top in the menu, it shows
Does Pages do
dictate.
that?
Does what?
It's Pages because I'm in most of my stuff. I do it in Pages um, on the Mac. You know, we use Pages, called Pages.
Hold on.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean, Pages is, I'm not sure. Pages tend to be a little bit behind in some of its functionality. You know what I'm saying? It's not as sophisticated. So you definitely would have to do some research on that too.
Yeah, I've never used Pages, so even
Because
when I
yeah,
had Macs, so
right, because even
Okay.
yeah, it was too for me to use Pages, it wasn't strong enough for all the repagination and stuff that I needed to do. So that's why I never really got into it and stayed with either Word or Google Docs.
yeah,
Yes, I find that Word has more features, probably maybe because I'm used to using it,
Mm-hmm.
and
yeah,
Google Docs seems a little limited. So most of my work I pretty much do, as you say, in Word. But I wanted to ask the question, what AI tool is there where you can upload your documents, and when it's uploaded, you can use ChatGPT on your sources with your sources as opposed to the internet sources?
Say that again.
So I want I want a AI tool that utilizes my source documents and create a subject that I choose.
You just have to tell Chat GPT what the source is.
Well, I'm on 3 and it only goes to the internet from January 2002.
That's why
So maybe I'm on.
that's why we use Bard. Bard is a little bit later.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bard, but I'm gonna send you another, so I'm gonna send you all, is it on this system? I'm gonna send you guys a list of resources with AI that has, so that you all can download images and as well as create your logos, and it should have that in there, what you're talking about as far as having being able to use later resources.
Well, not later resources, my resources, because I have a digital library that's, that I've created. And most of, so I wanted to create material from that.
So you would just have to click or put it in there. You know how we,
Okay.
you know how we copied and pasted our paragraph to rewrite.
Right.
So you would just have to copy whatever that source is and put that in there and tell it what you want it to do. But you have to write the prompt first.
Okay.
And you can say at the prompt, looking at the following resource, and tell it what you want it to give you, and then put that resource in and hit go.
Okay.
All right. And again, we can use one of those off Saturdays for that. I mean, Sundays, one of our off Sundays.
That works.
And look at that. Because that's a good point. Because you're right. I got a lot of digital. I was looking at all this stuff from Ignite Your Soul Connection. We have over 100, we almost have 100 videos out there on that YouTube channel.
Oh, wow. And just if we could AI that, those are courses.
Yeah,
can be
I was thinking about,
created.
I'm looking at a number of different ways to do that.
YouTube has transcribes. So if you go back in your YouTube channel and look at your videos,
Yeah, you can transcribe. It's a transcript. Yeah.
It's so you don't have to.
Yeah.
You just go back to your videos and see, and you can change your setting. So YouTube, and you can do that.
Okay.
And you can download the transcription.
Yeah, you can. Yep. You can download the transcription. Absolutely. Yep. So, Sarah, you can do that too. Because I was thinking, I was like, I know he's did this lecture so many times and in so many different ways, and all your catalyst courses. I say he got the book written already.
Yeah. Pull my stuff together.
Pull yourself together. So now I know that we said we would read chapters. Does anybody have anything they want to read to us this week? I know everybody don't, but anybody?
I can read my introduction.
Yes, read your introduction. Absolutely.
Go there right quick. You can keep talking while I pull it up.
Yes, this is wonderful. We want to read your introduction, hear your introduction, because we didn't get to hear that, right?
Now I'll find out where I put it.
This is very refreshing, I must say. I want to thank everyone's input.
Yeah, and that's what it takes. It takes a village. You know what I'm saying? Imagine that most of the time we're pulled to do everything else but what we really want to do, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Wash dishes. I said the other day, I said, I got too much going on. I have to still cook and sweep my own floor.
Man.
I found it.
Man.
You found it?
Yes.
Okay.
But I want to say too, the like minds, there's no, we're unique in how we think and how, we communicate and how we perceive things. And it's very rare to find individuals that you can talk to, and also call family.
That's
so
right.
I just give thanks to that. I yield.
Thank you. I hear you.
So the title, and this is the detailed introduction. We'll come back and rework it once it's all done.
Yeah.
Remember, it's the book Sankofa, Remembering Ancient African Spirituality Amidst Cultural Misorientation and Cognitive Dissonance. Remembering Ancient African Spiritual Amidst Cultural Misorientation and Cognitive Dissonance offers a profound exploration into the complex and multifaceted relationship between Africans in the diaspora and on the continent with Christianity, a journey that is both historical and deeply personal. This book addresses a critical question. How have African Americans communities reached this pivotal moment in their spiritual evolution? To unravel this, the narrative delves into the historical introduction of Christianity to Africa, acknowledging its dual role as both a tool of colonial oppression and a source of solace and hope. This historical perspective is crucial, as it is not only sheds light on the past, but also acts as a reflection of the present and a guide for the future. The book critically examines the impact of Christianity on African communities, particularly its role in cultural misorientation, which is a disconnection from the ancestral roots and the adoption of foreign beliefs. This phenomenon, akin to cultural amnesia, resulted in the overshadowing and often demonization of rich spiritual traditions by the new faith, leading to a profound loss of identity and spiritual homelessness. Central to this narrative is the concept of cognitive dissonance, the mental and emotional conflict experienced when one's ingrained beliefs clash with their cultural and historical truths. Through personal stories and testimonials, the book vividly brings to life the struggles of those grappling with this dissonance, highlighting the internal battles in the quest for spiritual truth and authenticity. Despite these struggles, the book captures a growing yearning for liberation among Africa's greatest resources, its people, both on the continent and in the diaspora. A desire to break free from the constraints of imposed belief systems and to reconnect with the ancestral wisdom. This yearning transcends a mere return to traditional African spiritual practices. It signifies a deeper quest for a spiritual identity that aligns with the soul's true essence as a divine spiritual being. The narrative then transitions to offer guidance on navigating through cognitive dissonance, underscoring the importance of self reflection, community dialogue, and the pursuit of alternative spiritual paths. It emphasizes that this journey is not only about individual healing, but about collective spiritual recovery and empowerment. In its concluding sections, the book focuses on the transformative power of embracing an Africa centered worldview and ancestral wisdom. It highlights how traditional African spiritual practices provide a path to healing and liberation. The process is about more the process is about more than reclaiming lost traditions. It's about rediscovering guiding wisdom and craftive that resonates with Africa's authentic spiritual identity. Final paragraph. Remembering ancient African spiritual amidst cultural misorientation and cognitive dissonance is thus a call to a journey of rediscovery, remembering, and resurrection as divine spiritual beings. It invites readers to embrace their past, confront their present challenges, and move towards a future where ancestral wisdom is not just remembered, but integrated into the very fabric of their spiritual being. This book is a roadmap for those seeking to reclaim their spiritual heritage and forge a new path of spiritual fulfillment and authenticity.
Wow. Yeah. That is deep. Spiritual recovery. Okay. Woo. Yes.
I was imagining I was reading it while he was
Yes. Oh my goodness. That is wonderful.
Talk about a book that's needed. OMG.
Man, it's so needed. It is so neat. That is wonderful. Thank you so much, Osir. Thank you.
I want to say something here. So when Rita met me, I was pastoring I've always pastored more of a word of faith, non-denominational ministry. But what I appreciated, because she met me on the front side of me, unpacking, constructing my Christian walk. And at 12, I asked Source to show me if it was real, to show me. So when I met Rita at the bookstore of all places, she allowed me to be who I was and never tried to proselytize me. Not one time in the 30 years has she ever said to me, you need to let all that stuff go. She may have been a mirror for whether or not it was working to my highest and greatest good. So I just because here I would have had a person that allowed me to be there, and that's what this book, it embraces where people are, but tell them here's a pathway to move into that new space they're seeking to go into.
Wow, that's wonderful. That is the pathway. It is. We were just talking about that today. You know, like so many people let religion take them out of everything, including relationships, jobs. And that made me think of last year. I was with the family, and one of our family friends said, "I'll drive you home," and I said, "Okay, that'll be cool." And on the way home, she said to me, she said, I got a question I've been wanting to ask you for many years. She said, do you believe that Jesus Christ is your savior? And I'm like, I'm listening from what it now, does she really want to know what my truth is? Or, so what I said to her, I said, well, let me say it like this. I say, I love the story of Jesus Christ. I said, that actual story.
I heard those words before.
Yeah, right. It saved
I heard those words.
Yeah, it saved my life, right? The story of Jesus Christ saved my life. I said, however, what I have really come to appreciate is that every single day I have to be responsible for saving my own life and then support others in doing that as well. She said, you're doing the devil's work. She said, you're leading people to the devil. She said, I'm going to pray for your soul. So then I'm like, okay. I said, well, thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
I let people be in that conversation.
Yeah, I need all the prayer I can get. Thank you. And the thing is, I've been knowing her I'm talking about Sharon. Sean's sister.
Yeah, I've been knowing them for a long time.
I've been knowing them for over 30 something years. So for her to be thinking this all this time, huh?
Well, you know what? It's a lot of.
Say that again.
Are you guys in the same space?
Yeah, Alanda's here. Come say hi. They trying to see you, girl. Yeah, she.
No. I was wondering who you was talking to, and she over here shaking her head like she see the person you talking to.
Right.
She's visiting from Iowa, Osir. So yeah, she's here. Yeah. But what you say, you Shaz?
I was saying, this is the Aquarian age where all masks come off.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I was glad that I didn't feel offended. I wondered how long she really wanted to ask me that. I said, oh, well, I bet she wanted to ask me that for a long time.
Not that long.
But
so wait a minute. Let me ask you this.
Been a couple of years.
What years ago about Jesus? Okay, sorry.
What is your theory, or what is your perspective on the new earth, whereas there would be two earths being separated, one with a higher vibration and one with a lower?
That's what we're experiencing now. We're moving to the 50s dimension, which is why I'm saying that our voice is required, because most people are still functioning on a very low frequency. And most people are captivated by what's in the news, what's in politics, what their work is having them to do. So even the fact that we're doing something outside of that moves us into another dimension. Can you see that? That Indeed. If you don't allow yourself to be on that level, you literally move out of that frequency. So almost the process of writing and sharing our voice actually raises our vibration.
Indeed.
So we're about to see this
new earth.
Yeah, this world is changing. You remember, I don't know if you all ever read Eckhart Tolle's book, The New Earth, but it is a beautiful book, beautiful book. And when Oprah had it on her show, that's the only time that I ever really worked with Oprah inside of that, because she was having people around the world meet in their living room. So I had meetings in my house too, where people were reading the book together, and you could feel the frequency shift inside of people reading the book. So this is kind of like what that is when you move away from the focus. When my friends, hey, you going to that political thing today and all that? No. Y'all got me when y'all had me vote. I hadn't voted for 30 years. I voted this year and they still messed it up. So great question you shares, but that's why our voice is required. Okay.
I have a.
What were you saying, Osir?
You muted.
You're muted.
You muted yourself.
He was saying something good too.
So
right, you mute. Go ahead.
So I have. So I want to lead into my book with the story of Asar, how he was.
Yes.
Now that story has been written. Do you have to get permission to rewrite that? Or not rewrite it, but to take that.
Absolutely. It's so many different books. No,
Right, that's what I wanted to know. So I want
well, hey, you know what? It's in so many different sources, right? So you can look up Osiris. Yeah, it's ISIS. Right. Yeah, and you can cite whatever source you're going to use, but no, there's no permission needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check the holy tablets as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's out there. It's
digital.
Yeah.
Okay.
The holy tablets.
All right, guys. So I have a question. Our next session could be November, because what is it, the 26th, that after the Thanksgiving? Or do you want to wait until December 3rd? I'm not sure if you guys celebrate Thanksgiving and you're gonna
Thanks for taking our land day.
I'm okay with the 26th.
Okay, y'all okay with the 26th? Okay, I'm good with it.
What day of the week is that?
That's a Sunday. It's still a Sunday. It's 2 weeks from today.
Okay.
Oh my
I'm
God.
good with it.
Yes. Thanksgiving is next week, if anybody didn't realize that.
It's next feast of
I
gratitude.
didn't.
Consume mass quantities
gratitude
day.
every day.
I give thanks. That's right. Thanks. I give thanks day and night, all day.
But
yeah, so I said consume mass quantities day.
Thinking.
But we've had to learn how to change it for the sake of the children, because it's so bombarded with the media.
My goodness. That and Christmas stories.
We have to change.
That's right.
We have to change the energy for them, because not to just say you're not going to do it, just still give them something to
no, we do.
on.
That's what we did too. Absolutely. Because we just use that time for family.
Yeah.
When my children, when my children, family time.
Just another Sunday dinner.
It's holy days.
Story.
That I refer to all holy days, because this and if y'all don't get it, like October is the start of having our energy siphoned out of us, so that when we get to the winter solstice, we're spending all of our money and we're depleting ourselves. That's the program.
Well, you know why they put that program in.
Yeah, so that's what we have to reteach the children, so that they're not out there. If everything is sleep right now, you should be resting too. This is when you plant your seeds, plant your dreams, become more into yourself, inside yourself. But they have people running around, shopping and going to this event, that event, all these presentations, and it takes you out of yourself.
Well, just to add on to that, the main reason on November 30th all the way to December 18th is literally a magical time.
Yes, it is.
During what they call it, Ophiuchus or Serpentorius, the energy of that constellation is in that, in that time. So as you said, those are the times where it's inward. And so by the time of the solstice, you have gathered all that energy, but you've gathered it, they, like you said, capitalize on the entire energy that you're supposed to be focusing on during that time. So
Where you could
give
be creating
thanks.
your future, you literally are you're emptying your pockets, and then here comes April taxes, where you're gonna spend the whole year. So we have to really change the narrative. I'm telling y'all, really. So this is one of the reasons we're getting into writing books, because this is just the beginning. All right, because then next year we need to do a whole series of children's books.
And
Telling you right now.
it's time for new books.
Yes,
We keep writing the old books.
that's what I'm saying. In our next session next year, we're doing children's books. So y'all
Well,
start.
it's interesting. It's interesting you're saying that because in one of the programs that I have for my homeschool workshop is a writing assignment.
Yeah,
And so there's steps in what we're doing right now where the children are actually writing it.
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful.
Good.
All right, you guys. I thank you so much. It's no small thing that you guys got on this call today. So I want to acknowledge you for that. I just want to acknowledge you. It takes something to keep pulling yourself forward. Because like I said before, nobody cares if you do or not. If your buddy is not here, and Sarah, I think you and I are going to be buddies, okay? I'm looking.
He's stuck. Oh, there we go.
Did you hear me? I said you and I will be buddies.
Turn this up.
You off.
You're off.
You're unmuted. I mean, you're muted.
I said, oh snap.
Me and Sarah used to spend so much time at the bookstore. Lord have mercy.
Orders. Yeah.
We used to meet at the bookstore about a year and a half.
And Borders,
I miss
Healing
Borders.
Earth, all them
I
spots.
miss
Man, I miss them
Healing
spots.
Earth, Borders. I miss that too, Sarah. And that's what I said. Sarah, I said, okay, that's enough. You got to become a coach. He was like, okay.
That's right. Awesome.
Awesome. All right, you guys. I'll post this video once it there she is.
Hey, buddy.
Hey. I've enjoyed my niece so much. We've been having such a good time, and eating all kind of good stuff and walking and hanging out.
When we gonna see you in the street again?
Who, me?
Yeah.
In the spring.
Oh, Kiana say. So
when you gonna see me in the street? What street?
Your photo shoots you were doing this fall.
She has.
I'll have more.
know, right?
I'll have more. Y'all usually in the streets.
She'll get in the street for that, but she said she'll have some more. He said when she gonna get in the street again.
When
Outfits are amazing.
Oh, thank you.
You be rocking. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Lady,
You had me excited looking at you. I'm like, oh, she got another one.
Oh, Kiana, I said we'll be in the street again when I come back just to hang out.
Yeah, you was working. I couldn't get to you. Let's do that.
Oh yeah, I'm tired. I peopled out.
I understand. I'm so peopled out. I get it. I'm on the live with Zoom with pajamas. I couldn't get it together.
That's what I told him. I said, you can put your pajamas on. Ain't nobody gonna see you. It's okay.
Right. And Brother Asar, I'd like to get with you too, because that book is speaking to me in way more ways than you can probably. Well, maybe you could possibly imagine it, but
you're one of my interviewees.
Yeah, because that book is basically my process right now.
That's wonderful.
Excellent.
Deciphering my connection with Christianity and knowing that It's kind of like Bruce Lee, right? It's like use what is keep what is useful, discard everything else.
Right.
That's kind of like the relationship I've had with Christianity.
And I'm going to write it in a way that those who are with like Islam or any religious system,
Yeah.
if they read it and replace the stories, the foundation is going to be can work across any one of the belief systems that are
Right.
not serving our people.
Right. And it's like I'm cool with the part of the Christianity thing, but it's like, what do I replace it with?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I am now.
That's going to
What
be a
do I
beautiful
replace it
thing.
with?
Yeah, well, you replace it with being spiritually grounded. It's not, religion is a system. You really
Right.
have everything inside. And all of the tools that we use is a part of that process. That's what that's something else me and Alanda was talking about. I said, I feel now, you know, because the whole thing was teaching people about breathing, meditation, visualization, being still, going in nature. That's what,
Right.
look how much of that is part of people's lives now and
Right.
people's conversations.
This whole
You remove the grave clothes. You
Yes.
remove the grave clothes. You don't your spirit. You don't need any of these things
Right.
in that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I look forward to unpack that with you all, and Mike, we'll have some conversations.
Yeah.
I was gonna say one of the things that I said in my introduction, that this book is for anybody. Even though it's a prayer book, like anybody can pray. That doesn't matter what
Right.
religion or
Right.
belief system you have, you can have
Yeah.
a prayer life.
Yeah.
You
Prayer
know,
has
it's one of
nothing
the
to
things
do
I
with what
made sure.
denomination you serving.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, because all of that religion, we all can see now that religion was created as a tool to separate.
A system
It
of
has
control.
right. It has nothing
And
to
could
do with
definitely, yeah.
connecting us to God. Right.
It took our voices away.
It took our voices
You
away.
know,
Gold out of our pocket.
I got kicked out of so many churches and Sunday school.
that's right.
You
Me
know,
too, Moo.
Now I just left.
And it was like, you asked
Yeah, I
too
didn't
many
get kicked out. I just
questions.
didn't go anymore.
I just left. Because I
Uh-oh.
know they wasn't hearing what I was
Somebody
saying.
Ooh, did
conspiring
your
with us
mic
not
go
hearing what you
out?
said.
I
Yeah,
mean,
her
did you
mic
get
went out.
muted?
All right, guys, I need to pop out.
yeah, we can ready to pop out. All right, guys. I will see you all.
Thank you.
Everybody see you guys on the 26th.
Yeah, thank you.
All
I
right.
love you all.
Peace.
Thank you. All
Be
right,
well.
enjoy the rest of your evening.